Okay, y'all, we're getting ready to make these clay bead bracelets. These are super popular. So I went to Hobby Lobby, and I went on a week when their beading supplies were half off. So I've got these black and white clay beads. These beads are, I don't know what size they are because you buy them by the ounce or by the grams, it looks like. But I've got black and white. I've got these fun little daisy shaped ones in multiple colors. I've got some mostly black and white alphabet beads, but they do have some little heart beads in there in pink and red. I've got some other little alphabet beads that are in the multicolors, the pastels or the bright spring colors that kind of go with the daisy beads. And I've got some little silver beads that I'm planning to use for spacers, and these are 4mm metallic beads. So let me just tell you, at Hobby Lobby, if your item has this yellow tag on it, this is considered a value pack, and they will not give you the discount on the value pack. But it takes a whole lot of these, and I'm thinking I'm going to make a lot of these bracelets, so I went ahead and bought the value pack. And you can never go wrong with alphabet beads. I mean, you can do all kinds of stuff with these. So then I was looking around. I always look at the clearance section, and I found these fun beads. These were on clearance for $1.24 and $1.99 each strand. Regular $7.99 and $4.99. They're a little bit bigger bead. They're kind of a glass feel. I don't know what they're made of. It may tell me under the tag, but the seal tag has got that covered up. You can tell when a bead is stone or glass by just feeling it. If those beads are plastic, they're going to take the same temperature as the environment. If they're glass or stone, they're going to feel cool to the touch. It's a denser material, and it doesn't heat up as fast. So holding it in my hand, it still feels cool. If these were plastic, even on a really cold day, if I held it in my hand, they would warm up to the temperature of my hand. So if you're ever out shopping at jewelry and somebody says, oh, this is genuine turquoise, just feel it. If it's a stone, it's not going to warm up, but plastic will. Okay, I'm also going to use Stretch Magic jewelry elastic. This is the 0.7mm size. You should choose the millimeter that will fill up the most of the hole in your bead. Now, if you look at these little daisy beads, if you look at that, that doesn't really fill it up real well, but I'm going to intersperse some of these alphabet beads with it, and they have a much smaller hole. So that's why I went with this and not the 1mm. So I'm going to make some bead bracelets, and I'm going to not talk until I get to certain points so that I can speed up the video and you don't have to be stuck there watching me for hours. And let me just say, I've got a wooden bead, a big wooden bead tied to the end of my string. You want to cut your cord plenty wide enough to go around the wrist you want to fit, plus some. And before you start stringing, you want to pull it and stretch it. And it's always a good idea when you pull it to cut it a certain distance, a certain length. And then you want to stretch it a couple of times and lay it back down and make sure it recovered mostly and that it didn't stay way stretched out. If it did, you've got some old cord or some cord that's on the cheaper side, or anyway, there's something wrong with it. You don't want to use stretch elastic that's going to stretch out the first couple of times it's pulled and never shrink back up, because then you have just a big sloppy thing you can't use. Look, I've got my granddaughter's name on it, Amelia. Isn't that sweet? Now, I'm going to show y'all how to knot this. And there's a lot of YouTube videos on there, and I've looked at a lot of different knots, but this is the one I use. First, take your 2 threads, your 2 strings, make an X. This one that goes over the top, wrap it around 1 time, like you're tying your shoe. Pull it. Now, make an X again. You're putting the string in your left hand over the thread in your right. Make an X. Wrap it around once. Wrap it around twice. Pull it tight. Now we're going to do that second part again. This thread that's in our left hand, we're going to put it over the top. Wrap it around once. Wrap it around twice. Pull tight. Now, I've seen this called a lot of different things. I've seen it called a surgeon's suture knot. I've seen fly fishermen use it. It seems to be a good all-purpose knot. And when you pull this tight, what happens is that you can cut these ends really short. And then what you're going to do is you're going to stretch your bracelet. You're going to really stretch it. You're going to make sure it don't break. You make sure the knot doesn't slip. And that looks pretty good. So now we're going to cut our ends. Now I'm going to cut them really short against the knot. Really short against the knot. Now at this point, some people will put a little dab of super glue on there. And if you could get a small enough dab on there, that's great. But what you don't want is a big glob of glue. Now you see this is a little bit loose off the knot. Well, that should shrink back up. That should pull back up. That's why you want to pull it really tight. So I'm going to lay that aside, and I'm going to go to another project now. I made 5 bracelets in the space of a couple of hours this afternoon, and literally for only a few dollars. This black and white one with the silver spacers I think turned out really cool for a 2-tone look. And then the clearance beads turned out to be a dyed seashell, and the little red ones are red jasper, which is a semi-precious gemstone. I think they look really pretty for fall, and y'all, I may keep this one for myself and just make another one for someone else. I really think they're pretty. Then I made stack bracelets for my granddaughter who was baptized this summer. I think she'll really enjoy these. The stack clay bracelets, especially with the wording, are really popular with the tween set and also the teen set. I think they turned out really cute. Well, y'all, thank you so much for watching through my video. I so appreciate you supporting me and letting me know what you think. If you're not a subscriber, I invite you to subscribe now. Ring the bell so you get notified of my upcoming videos. We'll be doing more thrift hauls, more DIY gift ideas, and more upcycles of thrifted finds in the coming weeks and months. I appreciate you, and I just ask that you would let me know what you think. Give me a thumbs up if you have a minute, or a comment. Well, until we meet again, this is Ginger with Ginger Snap Thrifting.